If one advances confidently in the direction of one's dreams and endeavors to live the life which one has imagined, one will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. Hello, I'm Dr. David Hawkins from the Marriage Recovery Center, and this video is titled Getting Him into Counseling. Now, some of you are going to become defensive at that title. I am not here to pick on men. I am a man, and I know about what it takes and what it's like to be a man. And so I have no need to pick on men. And yet, men don't come to counseling generally. Or when they do, they come to counseling after their mate has become so angry and so embittered that then they finally are forced to enter into counseling. And I would like that to change. I would like men to get into counseling sooner. So I'm going to comment on 5 D words that are important for you to understand, whether you are a man or a woman. And this is going to help you get him into counseling, or if you're a man, it's going to help you get into counseling. The first word is denial. Denial is, of course, a defense, and it's a defense against something that is threatening to us. So when a woman says to a man, hey, we need to go to counseling, that's really threatening to most men, because most men do not want to go to counseling. They don't want to do the heavy work, the exploration that is involved in counseling. And yet that threatening process, the breaking down of those defenses and that denial, is very critical, and it must happen. And you, the wife, the mate, the female, is often going to be the one who is going to involve the confrontation that is necessary to bring about the change. The second D, then, is a process of discovery. As your defenses break down, and as your partner's defenses break down, and the confrontation begins to take root, you discover that what you've been doing isn't getting you there. Do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. And that is not enough, and it's not okay. So to break down the defenses, there must be confrontation. And after that confrontation comes a process of discovery. You'll learn that what you're doing isn't working, and that if you keep doing it, if you keep praying and hoping and wishing and cajoling, those really aren't good boundaries, and they're not going to create change. So denial with confrontation will lead to discovery, which will then lead to the third D, a decision. This decision now is on both people's parts. On the woman's part, it's a decision to say to the man, this must happen. We must get involved in depth counseling. There must be change. Now, of course, as you are with your children, with your colleagues, with whomever, if you set a boundary, you must be willing to follow through on that boundary. So if you say there must be change, then there must be change. Then there has to be something on the other side of that must be. And I want you to be thinking about, okay, how do I enable things to stay exactly the same? And I'll bet you do. I'll bet you go on with life in a typical fashion. You maybe confront, cajole, harangue, and do all manner of things, and then slip back into just normalcy. And then things don't change. But if you will go through this process of breaking down denial through the use of confrontation, leading to the second D, which was discovery, leading to the third D, which is to make a decision. Things must change. And when there's that conviction and you look at your mate and say, I will not continue to live this way. Make no bones about it. You may not even know exactly what you're going to follow through on. But when you reach that inner conviction, that's a great place to be, because then you're ready for the fourth D. And the fourth D is disruption. Disruption. None of us like that change, that bridge of change I talk about, where things cannot stay the same. It could mean disruption of living the way you've been living. It may mean disruption in just how much time you spend with your mate. It may be disruption in how you feel about your mate. It may be disruption even in physical intimacies or other aspects of your relationship. But there's a temporary disruption. And that's the bridge of change. And that leads to the fifth D, which is a wonderful place, and that's a determination to live a new life. And that new life invariably will involve him. Because when you say things must change and you follow through with setting that boundary, he gets it. Men change when they have to change. And that is invariably the truth, because there's a secret that women don't know that I want to tell you right now. And the secret is we need you. We are vulnerable. We are insecure. Yes, I know we look tough. I know we act tough. I know we act as if we don't need you and we can get along fine without you and go ahead and leave and all of that other junk. But that's junk. The truth is, when you walk out that door, we don't take very long before we get on our phone or before we run after you and say, we need you. I'm sorry. And so it may take something very minor to make a shift. It may take something moderate to take a shift. And it may take something much more significant to make this shift. But it can happen. So getting him into counseling means moving through denial into the phase of discovery, through making a decision that leads to disruption and then leads to determination to live a new life, where you both go to couples counseling, you do depth work, you do depth change, and then you have this exciting, invigorated, loving relationship. And that's what can happen. I'm happy to help you get there if you have any concerns or any confusion about how to proceed. You can contact me at drdavid@marriagerecoverycenter.com, drdavid@marriagerecoverycenter.com, or call me directly, 360-490-5446. I want to talk to you. I want to help you have the most incredible relationship that you can dream about and imagine. It can be yours. Take care.